What if everything you worked for disappeared tonight? Would your life still have meaning? We spend years chasing security, yet one unexpected moment can reveal how fragile it really is. Jesus once told a story that exposes a hidden danger many never see until it's too late. In Luke chapter 12, Jesus is teaching a large crowd when a man interrupts him with a request that sounds reasonable on the surface. The man asks Jesus to settle a family dispute over an inheritance. He wants fairness. He wants what he believes is his share. But Jesus responds in a surprising way. Instead of taking sides, he warns the crowd about something far deeper than money. He says to watch out for all kinds of greed because life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. Then Jesus tells a parable, a simple story with a sharp spiritual edge. There was a rich man whose land produced abundantly. His fields yielded more than expected. His barns overflowed. By every visible measure, this man was successful. He didn't steal. He didn't cheat. He worked his land and it paid off. This is important because the problem in the story is not that the man is wealthy. The issue lies elsewhere. The rich man begins to reason with himself. He asks, "What should I do? I have no place to store my crops." His solution seems logical. He decides to tear down his old barns and build bigger ones. There he will store all his grain and goods. Then he tells himself, "You have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry." On the surface, this sounds like the dream many people chase. Financial freedom, early retirement, a life without worry. The man believes he has secured his future. He believes his wealth guarantees peace. But then the story takes a sudden turn. God speaks to him and calls him a fool. Not because he planned ahead, not because he was productive, but because of what he forgot. God says, "This very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?" In one sentence, Jesus reveals the illusion at the heart of the man's confidence. All his planning was based on the assumption that he controlled time. He assumed tomorrow was guaranteed. He assumed his life belonged to him. The man never considered God. He never asked what his wealth was for beyond his own comfort. He never thought about generosity, purpose, or eternity. His conversations were all with himself. Over and over, the story repeats the word my crops, my barns, my grain, my goods, my life. The center of his world was himself. This is why Jesus calls him a fool. In the Bible, foolishness is not about intelligence. It is about living as if God does not matter. It is about organizing your entire life around temporary things while ignoring what lasts forever. Jesus ends the parable with a warning that reaches far beyond the man in the story. He says that this is how it will be with anyone who stores up things for themselves but is not rich toward God. That phrase, rich toward God, is the key to understanding the entire message. Being rich toward God does not mean rejecting work or refusing to plan. It means recognizing that everything we have is ultimately entrusted to us. It means understanding that wealth is a tool, not a shield. It cannot protect us from death. It cannot purchase meaning. It cannot replace a relationship with God. Jesus is challenging the crowd, and he is challenging us to examine what we are really living for. In modern life, this parable feels uncomfortably familiar. We are constantly encouraged to measure success by accumulation. Bigger homes, better cars, more savings, more influence, more security. None of these things are wrong by themselves, but the danger lies in believing they can give us what only God can provide. The rich man believed that once his barns were full, his soul could rest. But rest does not come from stored grain. Peace does not come from numbers on a screen. Security does not come from walls we build around ourselves. Jesus often taught that the heart follows what it treasures. If our treasure is entirely tied to this world, then our fears will be tied to this world too. We become anxious about loss, obsessed with control, and blind to the needs of others. The parable also exposes how subtly greed can hide. The rich man was not portrayed as cruel or oppressive. His greed appeared reasonable, even wise. It was quiet, internal, private. That makes it more dangerous. Greed does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers that we just need a little more before we can rest. Jesus knows how easily possessions can possess us. Another powerful detail in the story is timing. God does not say the man will die someday. He says tonight. The urgency is intentional. Jesus reminds his listeners that life is fragile and unpredictable. We make plans as if time is unlimited, but none of us know how long we have. This is not meant to create fear, but clarity. If tonight were the end, what would truly matter? What would last? What would you wish you had invested in? The parable invites us to shift our focus from accumulation to alignment, from self-centered planning to God-centered living. Being rich toward God looks like trusting Him rather than hoarding out of fear. It looks like generosity instead of constant consumption. It looks like using what we have to serve others, to bring healing, to reflect God's character in the world. Jesus does not condemn wealth, but He exposes the lie that wealth equals life. Later in the same chapter, Jesus tells His followers not to worry about what they will eat or wear, because their Father knows their needs. The rich fool worried about storing, but never trusted. He planned for his comfort, but not for his calling. This parable also challenges how we define wisdom. Society often calls someone wise if they secure their future financially. Jesus asks a deeper question. Have you secured your soul? Have you considered eternity? The man in the story lost nothing he could keep, but he lost everything that mattered. Jesus' words invite us to live with open hands instead of clenched fists, to see possessions as blessings to steward, not identities to protect, to remember that we are not owners, but caretakers. When Jesus says life does not consist in the abundance of possessions, He is not diminishing life. He is expanding it. He is pointing to a life rooted in relationship, purpose, and trust in God. The parable of the rich fool is not meant to make us feel guilty for having things. It is meant to make us honest about what things are doing to our hearts. Are we building bigger barns or deeper faith? Are we securing comfort or cultivating compassion? Are we rich in storage but poor in trust? These questions are not accusations, they are invitations. Jesus offers a different way to live, a way marked by freedom from anxiety, a way where generosity replaces fear, a way where God, not wealth, defines success. When we are rich toward God, we discover that even if everything else is taken away, we still have what matters most. Thank you for watching this video on Holy Path Insights. If this message spoke to you, please like the video, follow the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement today. Stay with us as we continue exploring the teachings of Jesus and how they transform everyday life.